Welcome to Topper's Edge, your go-to destination for top-tier educational content designed to simplify complex concepts and enhance learning. Whether you're preparing for exams or just curious about the world, we provide clear explanations, concise notes. Stay ahead in your academic journey with expert insights, structured lessons, and powerful learning techniques. Subscribe now and unlock the edge in education. What keeps life going? Life processes. Life processes are the basic functions that living organisms perform to survive. From tiny unicellular organisms like amoeba to complex multicellular beings like humans, life processes ensure survival. Different organisms, different ways to eat. Nutrition is the process of taking in food and converting it into energy. It's of two types: autotrophic, where organisms like plants make their own food, and heterotrophic, where organisms like humans depend on others. There are three types in heterotrophic nutrition. They are holozoic, saprophytic, parasitic. Holozoic nutrition involves organisms ingesting whole food material, which is then digested and absorbed inside their bodies. Examples include animals, herbivores, cow, goat, carnivores, lion, tiger, omnivores. Human beings, unicellular organisms, amoeba, paramecium. Saprophytic nutrition. Organisms feed on dead and decaying matter. Food is digested externally and then nutrients are absorbed, e.g. bread mold, mushroom, yeast. Parasitic nutrition. Organisms derive nutrition from plants or animals without killing them. They obtain nutrition by living on or inside the host, e.g. tapeworm, lice. Plants, the ultimate chefs of nature. Photosynthesis is the process of capturing light energy and transforming it into chemical energy. In simple words, it is glucose. You can see the equation on the screen. It absorbs light energy from chlorophyll and converts it into chemical energy. It also splits water molecules into hydrogen and oxygen. Later reduction of carbon dioxide to carbohydrates. Now let us know how desert plants prepare food. Desert plants take up carbon dioxide at night and prepare an intermediate which is acted upon by the energy absorbed by the chlorophyll during the day. Desert plants make their own food by photosynthesis, just like other green plants. However, because deserts are very hot and dry, they have special adaptations. They open their stomata at night to take in carbon dioxide when it's cooler, helping them save water. During the day, they use sunlight and the stored carbon dioxide to prepare food, glucose, through photosynthesis. This special method is called CAM photosynthesis. Their roots are also deep and spread out to absorb as much water as possible from the soil. Nutrition in amoeba is a holozoic process, meaning it involves ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation, and egestion. Amoeba captures its food, usually bacteria or small organisms, by extending its finger-like projections called pseudopodia around the food particle. This forms a food vacuole where digestive enzymes are secreted to break down the food into simpler, soluble substances. The digested nutrients are then absorbed into the cytoplasm and utilized for energy, growth, and repair, assimilation. Finally, the undigested waste material is expelled outside the body by moving it to the surface and releasing it. This simple yet efficient process helps amoeba survive in its environment. In humans, nutrition is the process through which food is taken into the body, broken down into simpler forms, absorbed, and used for energy, growth, and repair, while the waste is removed. The process begins in the mouth, where the food is chewed thoroughly by the teeth and mixed with saliva. Saliva contains an enzyme called salivary amylase, which starts breaking down carbohydrates into simple sugars. After chewing, the food is pushed down the esophagus through a movement called peristalsis and reaches the stomach. In the stomach, digestive juices are secreted which contain pepsin to break down proteins, hydrochloric acid to create an acidic environment for the enzymes to work, and mucus to protect the stomach lining from being damaged by the acid. The food is churned and partially digested here before moving into the small intestine. In the small intestine, digestion is completed. Bile from the liver helps in breaking down fats into tiny droplets, and pancreatic juices from the pancreas contain enzymes that help in digesting carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. The inner walls of the small intestine release their own enzymes to finish the digestion process. The digested food is then absorbed by tiny finger-like structures called villi present on the inner surface of the small intestine. These villi increase the surface area for absorption and are filled with blood vessels, which help in transporting the nutrients throughout the body. These nutrients are used by the body cells for energy, growth, and repairing tissues. The remaining undigested food passes into the large intestine, where most of the water is absorbed. The waste material is then stored in the rectum and finally removed from the body through the anus. This final removal of waste from the body is called digestion. In this way, the human body carefully manages the complete journey of food from intake to digestion, absorption, and finally elimination of waste, ensuring that it gets all the nutrients it needs to survive and stay healthy. Let's learn about respiration. Respiration is the process by which food is burnt in the cells, mitochondria, of the body with the help of oxygen to release energy. Energy is stored in the cells in the form of ATP molecules. On this screen you can see the differences between breathing and respiration. There are two types of respiration. They are aerobic respiration, anaerobic respiration. Let's learn brief about aerobic respiration. Aerobic respiration is the process by which living organisms break down food in the presence of oxygen to release energy. It takes place inside the cells, mainly in tiny structures called mitochondria, which are often known as the powerhouses of the cell. In this process, glucose, which is a simple sugar obtained from the food we eat, combines with oxygen and gets broken down into carbon dioxide, water, and a large amount of energy. This energy is stored in the form of a molecule called ATP, adenosine triphosphate, which the body uses for all its activities like movement, growth, repair, and maintaining internal balance. Aerobic respiration happens in most plants, animals, and even humans, because oxygen is easily available in the environment. The complete breakdown of glucose in aerobic respiration makes it a very efficient process, producing around 36 molecules of ATP from just one molecule of glucose. The carbon dioxide produced as a waste product is expelled out of the body through breathing. Thus, aerobic respiration is essential for supplying continuous energy to living organisms to perform all life processes. Now let's learn about anaerobic respiration. Anaerobic respiration is the process by which living organisms break down food to release energy without the use of oxygen. Unlike aerobic respiration, it takes place when there is little or no oxygen available. In this process, glucose is only partially broken down, producing much less energy compared to aerobic respiration. In organisms like yeast, anaerobic respiration produces alcohol and carbon dioxide as waste products, and this is known as fermentation. In human muscles, during heavy exercise when oxygen supply is low, anaerobic respiration happens and produces lactic acid, which can cause muscle cramps and fatigue. Because the breakdown of glucose is incomplete, anaerobic respiration only produces 2 molecules of ATP from 1 molecule of glucose. Even though it releases less energy, it is very useful in conditions where oxygen is not available. This type of respiration is seen in some microorganisms like yeast, certain bacteria, and sometimes in human muscle cells during intense physical activities. The breakdown of glucose, also known as glycolysis, is a key metabolic process that takes place in the cytoplasm of cells. In this process, a 6-carbon glucose molecule is split into 2 3-carbon molecules called pyruvate. Along the way, energy is released and captured in the form of ATP, which stands for adenosine triphosphate, and NADH, which is reduced nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide. Glycolysis involves 10 steps, divided into 2 phases. The first phase, called the energy investment phase, uses 2 ATP molecules to prepare glucose for breakdown. The second phase, called the energy payoff phase, produces 4 ATP molecules and 2 NADH molecules, resulting in a net gain of 2 ATP molecules per glucose molecule. When oxygen is available, pyruvate moves into the mitochondria, where it undergoes further breakdown in the citric acid cycle and oxidative phosphorylation, generating much more ATP. In the absence of oxygen, pyruvate is converted into either lactate in animal cells or ethanol and carbon dioxide in yeast through fermentation. This helps regenerate NAD+, allowing glycolysis to continue producing energy. The breakdown of glucose is essential for providing cells with energy and occurs in nearly all living organisms. Respiration in humans is a vital biological process that involves the exchange of gases and the production of energy. It consists of two main types: external respiration, which is the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide between the body and the environment, and internal respiration, which involves the use of oxygen by cells to produce energy. The process begins with breathing, where air is inhaled through the nose or mouth, passes through the trachea, and reaches the lungs. Inside the lungs, oxygen diffuses into the blood through tiny air sacs called alveoli, while carbon dioxide moves out of the blood to be exhaled. The oxygen-rich blood is carried by hemoglobin in red blood cells to body tissues. In cells, oxygen is used in cellular respiration, where glucose is broken down in the mitochondria to produce ATP, releasing carbon dioxide as a waste product. This carbon dioxide is transported back to the lungs and exhaled. Respiration is essential for survival as it provides the energy required for all bodily functions, from muscle movement to brain activity. Any disruption in this process can lead to serious health issues, emphasizing its critical role in human life. The human body relies on two interconnected systems for transportation: the circulatory system and the lymphatic system. The circulatory system, composed of the heart, blood vessels, and blood, functions as a closed network delivering oxygen, nutrients, and hormones while removing waste products like carbon dioxide. Blood consists of red blood cells for oxygen transport, white blood cells for immunity, platelets for clotting, and plasma for carrying dissolved substances. The heart pumps blood through a double circulation pathway: pulmonary circulation to the lungs for oxygenation and systemic circulation to the rest of the body. Arteries carry oxygen-rich blood away from the heart, veins return deoxygenated blood, and capillaries facilitate exchange at the tissue level. Complementing this system, the lymphatic system maintains fluid balance and immunity. It collects excess tissue fluid as lymph, filtering it through lymph nodes that trap pathogens before returning the fluid to the bloodstream. Key lymphatic organs like the spleen, thymus, and tonsils play crucial roles in immune defense by producing and storing infection-fighting cells. The circulatory system ensures efficient nutrient and gas exchange, while the lymphatic system prevents fluid buildup and defends against infections. Together, they maintain homeostasis, with disorders in either system, such as hypertension or lymphedema, leading to significant health challenges. Their seamless coordination is essential for sustaining life and protecting the body from diseases. Transportation in plants. Plants absorb raw materials like nitrogen, phosphorus, and minerals from the soil through roots. Water transport in xylem. Food transport in phloem. Xylem. The xylem is a complex plant tissue that serves as the main water conducting system. Its primary function is to transport water and dissolved minerals from the roots upward to all other parts of the plant, including the stems and leaves. This upward movement is unidirectional, meaning water flows only from roots toward the leaves and does not reverse direction. The xylem tissue is mainly composed of non-living cells at maturity, which form hollow, interconnected channels for efficient water transport. It contains 4 specialized types of cells: tracheids, vessels, xylem parenchyma, and xylem fibers. Tracheids and vessels are tube-like structures that facilitate water movement, with vessels being more efficient due to their perforated walls. Xylem parenchyma consists of living cells that store nutrients and assist in sideways water movement, while xylem fibers provide structural support to strengthen the plant. Together, these components ensure proper water distribution and mechanical stability in plants. Phloem. The phloem serves as the plant's nutrient transport system, carrying the food produced in the leaves through photosynthesis to all other parts of the plant. This movement of organic nutrients like sugars occurs in both upward and downward directions, allowing the plant to distribute energy where it is most needed. Unlike the xylem, which mainly transports water upwards, the phloem can move nutrients to growing shoots, developing fruits, or storage organs like roots and tubers depending on the plant's requirements. The phloem tissue contains specialized living cells that work together to facilitate this transport. Sieve tube elements form the main conducting channels, arranged end to end to create continuous pathways for nutrient flow. These sieve tubes are supported by companion cells that help regulate their function and maintain their metabolic activity. The phloem also includes phloem parenchyma cells which store and help distribute nutrients laterally, along with phloem fibers that provide structural support to the tissue. This sophisticated transport system enables plants to efficiently allocate resources, supporting growth in different regions, storing reserves for future use, and adapting to seasonal changes. Together with the xylem's water transport function, the phloem ensures the plant's survival by managing the distribution of both nutrients and water throughout its structure. The human body relies on two highly specialized and interconnected systems for transportation: the circulatory system and the lymphatic system. These systems work in harmony to maintain the body's internal environment and support all vital functions. The circulatory system forms an extensive network that delivers essential substances throughout the body. At its core is the heart, a powerful muscular pump divided into 4 chambers that create a dual-circuit pathway for blood flow. The right side of the heart receives oxygen-depleted blood from the body and sends it to the lungs, while the left side receives oxygen-rich blood from the lungs and pumps it to all body tissues. This blood travels through a complex arrangement of blood vessels, thick-walled arteries that carry blood away from the heart under high pressure, thinner-walled veins that return blood to the heart with the help of one-way valves, and microscopic capillaries where the critical exchange of gases, nutrients and wastes occurs with surrounding tissues. The blood itself is a remarkable fluid tissue composed of several key components. Red blood cells contain the iron-rich protein hemoglobin that binds and transports oxygen. Various types of white blood cells serve as the body's defense force against infections and foreign invaders. Platelets are cell fragments crucial for blood clotting, while the liquid plasma carries dissolved nutrients, hormones, antibodies and waste products. Working alongside this circulatory network is the lymphatic system, which performs several complementary functions. It collects excess tissue fluid that leaks from capillaries, filters this lymph through strategically placed lymph nodes that trap pathogens and foreign particles, and eventually returns the cleansed fluid to the bloodstream. The lymphatic system also includes specialized organs like the spleen that filters blood and removes aging red blood cells, the thymus that matures important immune cells, and clusters of lymphoid tissue like tonsils that guard entry points against invading microorganisms. These two systems maintain critical balance in the body by regulating fluid levels, distributing nutrients and oxygen, removing waste products, and providing comprehensive immune protection. Their coordinated action ensures that every cell receives what it needs to function while being protected from harm, demonstrating the remarkable efficiency of the human body's transportation mechanisms. Any disruption to these systems can lead to serious health consequences, highlighting their vital importance in maintaining life and health. Double circulation refers to the two distinct pathways through which blood travels in the human circulatory system, ensuring efficient oxygenation and nutrient delivery. This sophisticated mechanism involves two separate circuits, pulmonary circulation and systemic circulation, with the heart serving as the central pumping organ divided into 4 chambers. In pulmonary circulation, the right side of the heart receives deoxygenated blood from the body and pumps it to the lungs through the pulmonary artery. Within the lungs' alveoli, blood releases carbon dioxide and absorbs fresh oxygen through the process of gaseous exchange. The newly oxygenated blood then returns to the left side of the heart via the pulmonary veins. Systemic circulation begins when the left ventricle contracts, forcing oxygen-rich blood into the aorta, which branches into numerous arteries distributing blood throughout the body. As blood flows through increasingly smaller vessels, it eventually reaches capillary networks where oxygen and nutrients diffuse into tissues while collecting carbon dioxide and metabolic wastes. The deoxygenated blood returns through veins, ultimately converging into the superior and inferior vena cava that empty into the heart's right atrium, completing the cycle. This dual-circuit system provides crucial advantages. The complete separation of oxygenated and deoxygenated blood prevents their mixing, ensuring highly efficient oxygen delivery to tissues. The two-step pressurization system allows blood to be pumped at lower pressure to the delicate lungs while maintaining higher pressure for systemic circulation, optimizing both gas exchange and tissue perfusion. Furthermore, this arrangement enables precise regulation of blood flow to different organs according to their metabolic demands, supporting diverse physiological functions from muscular activity to cerebral processes. The evolutionary development of double circulation in mammals and birds represents a significant adaptation that supports their high metabolic rates and endothermic nature, allowing for sustained physical activity and efficient thermoregulation. This complex yet elegantly coordinated system highlights the remarkable efficiency of the human cardiovascular system in maintaining homeostasis and meeting the body's constant demand for oxygen and nutrients. Excretion is the vital biological process through which the human body eliminates harmful metabolic wastes and maintains homeostasis. The primary excretory system in humans consists of a pair of kidneys, ureters, a urinary bladder, and a urethra working together to filter blood and remove toxic substances. The kidneys play the central role in excretion by filtering approximately 120 to 150 quarts of blood daily through microscopic filtering units called nephrons. Each nephron contains a glomerulus that filters water, salts, glucose, and nitrogenous wastes like urea from the blood while retaining essential substances. The filtered fluid then passes through a long tubule where selective reabsorption occurs. Valuable nutrients and most water are reabsorbed into blood capillaries while excess salts and urea remain in the tubule to form urine. The formed urine travels from kidneys through muscular tubes called ureters to the urinary bladder, where it is stored temporarily. When the bladder becomes full, urine is expelled through the urethra in a process called micturition. Besides the urinary system, other organs contribute to excretion. Lungs remove carbon dioxide through exhalation, skin eliminates water and salts through sweat, and the liver processes toxic substances that are excreted through bile. This sophisticated excretory mechanism maintains the body's fluid balance, regulates blood pressure, controls electrolyte levels, and prevents accumulation of toxic substances. Any malfunction in excretion can lead to serious conditions like uremia or kidney failure, emphasizing its crucial role in human health and survival. The excretory system works in coordination with other body systems to maintain the delicate internal balance necessary for proper physiological functioning. Excretion in plants. Oxygen as a waste product. Oxygen, produced during photosynthesis, is considered a waste product and is released through the process of transpiration. Dealing with gases. Plants manage excess oxygen and carbon dioxide through stomata during gas exchange. Transpiration. Excess water is removed by transpiration through stomata in leaves. Dead tissues and leaf shedding. Plants use dead cellules and shed leaves to eliminate waste. Waste products are often stored in parts of the plant that will be discarded. Cellular vacuoles. Many waste products are stored in the vacuoles of plant cells. Storage in leaves. Some waste products are stored in leaves that eventually fall off the plant. Resins and gums. Old xylem stores waste products in the form of resins and gums. Excretion into soil. Plants can also excrete some waste substances directly into the soil around their roots. We appreciate you taking the time to explore this comprehensive lesson on life processes with Raheem Academy. Understanding these fundamental biological concepts, from nutrition and respiration to transportation and excretion, gives us profound insight into how living organisms function and sustain life. At Raheem Academy, we strive to make complex scientific principles accessible and engaging. We hope this detailed explanation has enriched your knowledge and sparked curiosity about the incredible systems that keep organisms alive. Your dedication to learning inspires us to continue creating high-quality educational content. For more in-depth lessons, interactive resources, and science insights, visit Raheem Academy regularly. We're committed to supporting your academic journey with reliable, easy-to-understand material. Keep discovering the wonders of biology, and thank you for choosing Raheem Academy as your learning partner. Happy studying!